you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Good morning. Today we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Cosa Nostra. The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Cosa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today.
Wesley was getting touchdowns.
And last, come on, yo, which times in the NBA? We gonna get into it in a while. As I know, y'all all just seeing the investigations of Terry Rozier getting arrested and Chauncey Billups, who just caught yesterday, getting arrested by the damn FBI.
That's what's the big shot.
Terry Rozier, y'all know about the illegal sports betting schemes that Terry Rozier was involved in 2 years ago. Yeah, Damon Jones. And now the investigation came back around. They said it was about 30-something people that was all involved. So they got Terry Rozier and they got Chauncey Billups for doing stuff for alleged and rigging poker games backed by the Mafia. And then if y'all, and he said something in this press conference yesterday talking related to gambling or something.
Not
and
Chauncey,
come on, y'all. Like y'all know that y'all not supposed to be involved with that. But they do it anyway.
It was something that leagues stayed far away from. It was something that networks like ESPN would stay far away from. Those days are obviously long behind us. You hear a lot about legal sports gambling on this show. The Bussin' Boys, obviously sports gambling is a huge part of what you do, so we put those all out there as a preamble because it might be in the back of people's minds, and we acknowledge that this is a different time and place. However, there is a fine line, not so fine, there is a bold line that obviously has to be drawn.
Two different cases, though, here. One is essentially a mafia-led situation that Chauncey Billups is a part of, where he's accused of being a member. They called it a face card at these illegal poker fixing situations, events happening all over the country, in New York, in Vegas, in Los Angeles.
They can't stay away from it.
First of all, the way I think. What does Jack Perry wear on his face? As always, when it comes to multi-billion-dollar corporations in America, there always have to be fall people. Mm-hmm. Now let's just be there for a second. Out of all of these major sports franchises, from Major League Baseball to NFL to hockey to NBA, who are the majority owners of these leagues? It ain't Italians. It ain't the Mafia. it ain't black people, melanated people. It ain't Hispanics. It's the pasties, the white people, the fucking Caucasians. Over 90% of the NFL is still owned by white owners. They're trying to diversify the league with majority-owned teams and bullshit so they can say that these 8-9 minority people own 10% of a team while this white motherfucker still own another 90% and make $8 billion a year. So my thing is, if these white people are literally the owners of all of these corporations and franchises, by a long shot more percentage than all the other ethnic diversities. Like, for example, who's in charge of who are the top dogs that are in charge of the partnership that just happened between ESPN and NFL, which puts NFL in a stake to get 10% from ESPN profits and revenue, even though ESPN has an ESPN Bet sports book, which they always say they want to protect the integrity of the league. then why are you getting profit back? So again, I say, why Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, and the rest of the people in the gambling ring were wrong. Let's be real here. They can't get as high as a level as they got in the gambling ring if the niggas over top of them ain't give them the opportunity to host these games, to invite, send the invites out. You think these games and stuff was happening in Chauncey Billups' home?
They just
or
doing
you think it was
themselves.
happening in some billionaire's ranch off in the desert somewhere? Like they just talked about, like that's not like the mafia ain't been around for decades.
Like the thing somebody had to give them
around
inside
the United
information
States
to do it.
Now, while the cartel gets hit here and other gangs, Bloods and Crips get hit, what gang has always been around for decades in the United States? The mafia, because the mafia is intertwined with the government officials and police. Everybody knows this. So it's just funny to me that every time it comes to some kind of gambling from the NBA or NFL over the last 2-3 years, whether it's John T. Perry, whether it's Malik Beasley, whether it's Terry Rozier, now Chauncey Billups, always seems to be a melanated person, or historically people over the years that they've labeled as the criminals, as the crooks, as the thieves. Never the people that look like them. When are we gonna find a white billionaire that we see is like when y'all gonna catch Jerry Jones throwing money under the table for that tie against the Packers? But yet we gonna act like Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier is so big time that y'all was investigating just these black niggas for so long. That these
investigating for 3 years.
That these the only niggas that got caught gambling is the black niggas. That they the ones that you had to lock up. Now no white people. And it's connected to the Italians, the mafia. Like it's never you pasty motherfuckers that's ever accountable for anything. Y'all only accountable for cleaning it up. I'm not buying that Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier were running or in charge or involved in a gambling ring. They were the bottom fucking tier, and they gotta be the people that get scapegoated to make it seem like NBA is protecting the integrity of the game, while the big black white dogs continue to move that shit in an adaptable sense another way until they get caught again. Give it a break. Come on, yeah.
Come on.
Absolutely right, Rich. The NBA at some point is going to have to explain why Terry Rozier was allowed to keep playing. And I just want to point something out. The sports books caught the irregular betting on Terry Rozier the day it happened, the morning it happened, when all of a sudden there was hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in on Terry Rozier unders for a relatively meaningless game in March, involving the Charlotte Hornets. The sports books caught it. They told the NBA right away, and guess what? The NBA, Rozier didn't play the rest of the season, and he had faked the injury, so it wasn't because of the injury. The NBA pulled him. They pulled Jonte Porter too. They flagged Jonte Porter and pulled Jonte Porter. The NBA's measures, their protection measures, the sportsbook's protection measures triggered this. They caught it. The issue, I think, is Jonte Porter. They caught